Welcome back to my channel, everyone. So it's Amy's Animals, and here we will be showing you pretty much anything weird and wonderful that I've got in the way of animals. So that could include giant gastropods, my inverts, or even my aquariums. I'll be popping something up on them soon too. So yeah, if you're into anything odd in the animal world, then you're in the right place. So before we get started, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell to keep yourself updated for any other further videos that I've got coming out. And yeah, it'd be nice to just get a little community of us going, and you know, I reply to all my comments, so just leave a comment and we can just have a little chat about whether it's the snails, whether it's my mantids, anything really. You know, it'd just be nice to have a bunch of us weird lot getting to know each other and yeah, just showing each other some support. So the norm is kind of to gravitate more towards like the little fluffy cute animals. I love them too. I have dogs, I have cats, but yeah, a lot of people don't seem to understand why people like us tend to like the snails, the mantids, the spiders, the beetles, anything like that really. So yeah, it'd just be nice to get a lot of us together and have a little community going. So this video is going to be based on all of my snails. Now, I was going to do an all my animals type video. That seems to be done quite a lot, so I'm assuming I'll probably do that in the future, but this one's particularly is going to be focusing just on my snails. So yeah, do you own a snail? Do you like snails? Can you own a snail? Because that seems to be a problem. Just yeah, leave a comment down below and we'll just start up a little discussion about snails if you like. So I thought I'd start off from smallest to largest and end on a massive high with my newest rehomes that I've got. So my smallest snail is definitely not to be overlooked though. He might be small, but he is damn beautiful, and he also cost me the most, to be honest. That's probably because he's one of the more rare colourings for the marginata ovum species. He's an albino. Yeah, they're probably the most sought after ovums that you can get. Okay, so let's introduce you to this absolute beaut of a snail, and his name is Gandalf. As you can see, this one's an albino and he's got a very yellow shell, and the rest of his body's quite dark. He is what you would call a margie or an ovum. So these are the second largest land snail in the world. Their scientific name is Argentina marginata ovum, and yeah, he's an albino. So I have been searching for this albino snail for quite some time, and I've lost out twice on larger snails. We finally got to get one, and he's only got a shell length of like 2.5 centimeters. But like I said, he's not to be overlooked at all. He's absolutely stunning. So next up in order of size, I've got Frodo and Sam, and Frodo is a light-skinned ovum and Sam's albino-bodied. So these are Frodo and Sam. When I first had these were around about 5 centimeters in their shell. They're a lot larger now. Sam, unfortunately, I don't know why, but her shell isn't in as great condition as Frodo's. So if I can take Frodo down, see this is new. Sam's shell, I don't know if you can see these ridges here. Considering they're both kept in exactly the same conditions, then I don't know why, for instance, Sam is much bigger than Frodo, and Sam's shell seems to get damaged a hell of a lot more than Frodo's. They've both got ample cuttlefish, they have oyster shell flakes in their substrate, so they've got plenty of calcium there, and they have protein days, and Gulliver lives with them too, so he's looking absolutely fabulous. So I'm not too sure why Sam's gone this way, but it's okay. She's healthy and she's always active, she's always eating, and that's all that matters really. Fortunately, the damage done to her shell though is quite new, and where the new growth is coming in. So I'm not too sure how she's done this, but wherever a new shell growth comes in, it tends to be quite brittle. So I like to be open and transparent with everyone, and I don't want to try and hide away a snail that may be ill, or for instance with Sam's shell, I'd rather show you it and possibly we can learn from that together then. And also what's quite interesting is that these two came at the same size, and Frodo's quite a bit smaller actually, so considering her shell's a bit more beat up, he's quite small compared to her. Very strange. But they're both kept in the same place. They both get a variety of fruit and veg, leafy greens. They have great humidity in there. Their temperatures are always kept around about 26. Nonetheless, they are still absolutely cute. Now I want to show you, see how I'm stroking this one and they don't like it. I seem to find that with all of my ovums. Now later on when you see the Fullica that I've got, they're a little bit more, I wouldn't say feisty because they're snails, they're a bit more accepting then to being stroked. So yeah, these are Frodo and Sam. But yeah, it's just funny how one of them gets a really brittle shell and then one of them doesn't grow as big as the other one. Very strange. And Gulliver's doing fab. So next up is Galadriel, and she is slightly different in that she's not an ovum, she is a Egregia, so Archacatina marginata Egregia rather than ovum. And my god, is this one lazy snail. Honestly, it's quite difficult to get her to come out, especially on your hand, but I will try. Her shell though, my god, I remember when I saw her, she cost me £1 because the people that I buy them from, they tend to do like offers now and again, and they put up quite a few of these Egresias and they were all going for like £1. So yeah, she cost me £1, and obviously postage and packaging. But yeah, she's stunning. Like the first time I saw her, she just came straight out and everything. I'm hoping you will be able to see her. But yeah, at first time I saw her, I was absolutely in awe of her shell. It's got such an amazing patterning on it. So let's have a look. She's not coming out, but she might do. So you've got this pink tip and this beautiful coloration hue with this, see this stripe? Yeah, she has one heck of a shell. Now she's not going to grow anywhere near as big as Gulliver, but nonetheless, she is stunning. Yeah, so she is rather lazy compared to my others, but when it comes to food, I'll set up all their food and she will be first out. Yeah, she's just staying tucked away nicely in her beautiful shell. And if I had a shell like that, I'd probably want to stay tucked away in it too. I know snails are slow, but she does take this to a whole new level. It's been sat here now about 15 minutes waiting for it to come out, and only now can you start to see her. I know if I make the slightest movement, she's just going to shoot back in. She's rasping on my hand now, so I think she's hungry. She's ready for a sweet potato. She's not exactly a small snail, but she's probably just a little bit bigger than Sam is. I'm not sure if she's got much more growing to do, but I mean, she's a giant snail, I suppose. She's a lot bigger than most other snails that you see. You can see when I put Gulliver on my hand compared to her, there's a huge difference in size. So Gulliver's finally decided to come out and join us. Here he is. Let me sit back a bit because he's quite large and you can't really see him in the camera. Yeah, this is my big man Gulliver, and he's the one you will see most often on my hand like this on Instagram. So he is another ovum, and he came to us at around 11 centimeters in shell length, so he's a bit bigger now, and he came to live with the Lilliputians Frodo and Sam, obviously Gulliver's travels, and yeah, he's a whopper. See how he spreads out, and he's got quite a sweet face. So yeah, if I try and like stroke these snails, they tend to be a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, they flinch. Whereas the Fulica, love it, you know. And like these snails, from my experience anyway, the ovums seem to be quite a lazy snail, and you don't seem to see a lot of them at all during the day. They only come out really around about 7-8 o'clock at night. A lot of people get grossed out with how big these are. I can kind of understand that, but honestly, people ask, do they produce a lot of slime and stuff? But I mean, yeah, they're snails, but probably not as much as you think. So the bigger that they get, I find, the less mucus and slime that they produce. But yeah, you still gotta wash your hands and everything after holding them. You're not gonna have completely clean hands after holding a snail, so please make sure you wash them. So yeah, as I said, his shell is totally immaculate, and this is kind of the normal coloration and patterning that you'll see on the ovums. Whereas, like I was saying about the albino Gandalf, he has no patterning or anything at all. So yeah, this is quite standard and normal for this species, but he's not standard and normal at all, really, is he? Come on. Yeah, there's nothing bog standard about this guy. He's pretty special, especially to me, and everyone online seems to love him. So if you've seen my previous video, and I'll put a link just up here to that, you would have seen that I have rehomed 2 snails, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea the species or anything, but I was very pleasantly surprised when I turned up and found these. When you think of giant snail, this is what you think of as giant snail. So that's 2, by the way. So these two are actually without names at the moment, and if you watch my previous video, the one that I just linked, then you can either comment there or comment here and give me some suggestions, because the best ones will be naming these two beautiful snails. So yeah, these are definitely what you think of when you think of giant snails. This one's a bit smaller, this one kind of steals the limelight, but nonetheless, these are pretty impressive. They're around 3 years old, they are. Yeah, if you can think of any decent names for them, then please comment down below and give me your suggestions. I will reply to absolutely every comment anyway. And yeah, we can hopefully get you two named pretty soon. Yeah, it'd be nice to do a nice size comparison, I think. So I've had to sit right back to try and make sure that she fits in the entire frame. But yeah, so this one is my largest and this one is my smallest. Now he is an ovum and will be one of the second largest species of land snail in the world. This one isn't. So he's got a lot of growing to do to catch up and overtake the size of this one. That's quite a size difference, isn't it? I mean, he makes up just about the end tip of this one's shell. And we've got all this here too. So yeah, he's a little dinky one. So yeah, I don't really want to sit him on top, even though it would look really nice, because I mean, I've only just got these and obviously they're rehomes. I don't really know how they've been kept and everything, and I just don't want to be transferring anything between snails, especially with how beautiful his shell is and how healthy he is at the moment. So yeah, this is the closest that they're getting right now. Look at that face. That's one hell of a face. These are a lot more slimier though. Remember I was saying earlier about how much they slime? These Fulica ones seem to be a lot slimier than my ovums. Can you see the colour change on here? Now that's just where I've sprayed. See? It's almost purple, isn't it? Yeah, she is a cracking snail. It's like almost like a unicorn horn as well. And so this is my largest snail, and yeah, she's about the size of my head, and even when she's extended, that's probably quite a bit longer than that, because she's quite curled up around me at the moment. She is huge. Like, he's probably as big as her head, and he's got all this to grow. I think Gulliver comes to around about here, possibly, with his shell. And his body's nowhere near as big as this. Like I said, she's quite wrapped around me at the moment. When she's fully extended, I'll have to get a picture of that because I think it's going to look pretty amazing. There we go. My smallest, my largest snails. He's finally coming out for a little peek. So I'm going to pop this little man back in now to have his sweet potato, and he can have a little wander around now tonight. And I'm assuming you're just gonna go in and eat like crazy as usual. Yeah. And as you can see, how it's glistening. Yeah, that is the minging bit about owning snails, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's not great, is it? Which is why I have short nails. But that's how much they slime. So if you can't really handle that, then obviously snails not for you and you get too grossed out over it. Don't bother owning them. You're just going to end up having to have them rehomed. Look, see? Yeah, if you can't be dealing with that, snails are not the pets for you. So yeah, that's all my snails, and I would definitely recommend these as a pet to anyone, especially with kids that want to buy their first pet, something that's low maintenance, cheap, and yeah, just generally easy to look after. But yeah, like I said, don't go acquiring animals if you're not going to put the effort in, or if after a few years you're not going to be as interested in them, because once you've lost interest, the animal still is there and still needs to be adequately looked after. So definitely put thought into owning one of these snails. I think they're starting to pick up in popularity again. They were quite popular back when I was around about 16. But yeah, my worry with that and doing these videos and promoting them, even though I want to show you how wonderful they are, I don't want to promote them in a negative way, as in like a lot more people will go out and buy them and then there'll be a lot more in a few years that need rehoming. That is definitely not my point of this video. I want to show you how amazing they are, but at the same time I want you to respect them, and yeah, don't go buying them if you know you're not going to be able to commit, because these snails can live for around 10 years. So if you can't commit to 10 years of your life with that snail, then please don't go buying any. Go and visit some at your local community farms. Sometimes they have them, or local zoos or anything like that. Go and see them by all means, but if you're not going to commit, then please don't buy. There's too many animals in the world, guys, that are unwanted, so please don't contribute to that problem if you can. So once again, make sure that you've subscribed to my channel and hit that notification bell. Like I said at the beginning, just leave me some comments, we'll have a little chat, and you know, anything you want to ask me about snails or anything else, just feel free. I'm quite easygoing and I reply to all my comments, and I'm just happy to chat, really. Also, head over to my Instagram and I'll pop the link down in my description below. So over there you can keep yourself updated on me and all my animals, and you'll probably see there first when another YouTube video is coming out, and obviously that notification bell should alarm to you when I am putting a video up. So take care and keep snailing it. Yeah, I did just say that. Keep snailing it.